TJ, why aren't you dressed fancy for school news?
It's just school news.
Just school news? Hi, you look great. How about you be my co-anchor?
What?
What? What was this? What? Hi, I'm Evelyn.
And I'm Caitlin.
Welcome to this week's school news.
Do you enjoy history? Students of all grades are welcome to participate in the History Bee competition. The History Bee pre-test will be offered this Thursday, February 2nd, in room 129 after school. Sign up with your social studies teacher. You just might advance to the next level.
Attention 8th graders. The high school counselors are coming to present high school information to you today. You will get a pass in your TA to attend your neighborhood school's presentation right after TA. All high school information can be found on Ms. Schaefer's Class of 2027 Canvas course.
Has your TA been hit with a snowball yet? If so, remember to hit another TA with a snowball soon.
Game on, D&D players. The D&D club needs a few more dungeon masters to run a campaign for groups of elves, dwarves, halflings, dragonborns, gnomes, tieflings, and humans. If you have experience being a dungeon master, some experience, or no experience at all, we invite interested humans to come to D&D Club on Tuesdays in Mrs. Smith's room, 352. The club runs until 4 p.m.
This is the first week of the new quarter, and we are officially halfway through the school year. Start off on the right foot. Write down your assignments in your agenda, clean out any no longer needed papers from your binder, and ask teachers for help when you need it.
Attention world language students. Would you like to show off what you're learning in your language class? You can participate in the APS World Languages celebration on Wednesday, March 1st at the Career Center. Ideas include performing songs and cultural dances, doing skits, or reading poetry in that language. You can do this individually or with your friends who are also studying the same language. Talk with your world language teacher if you're interested.
We have the results from the Scholastic Arts and Writing competition. We had 16 entries from our middle school artists. 13 artworks received a gold key, 2 artworks received a silver key, and 1 received an honorable mention. Congratulations to the following students. For 7th grade, Asher B., Margaret E., Egshiglen G., Jackie J., Emily V. 8th grade, Caitlin E., Austin G., Molly L., Campbell P., Evelyn P., Ellen R., and Ghost C.
It's time to be thinking about your course plans for the next school year. If you are attending DHMS next year and missed the presentations last week, all the recordings and slideshows are posted on the DHMS website. If you are going to high school, please see the course information on your high school's website and in Ms. Schaefer's Canvas course.
The yearbook team is still looking for yearbook photos. Submit them using the link on the Student Information Canvas course or using the QR code on the flyers posted around the school.
And last, there will be an early release day next Wednesday, February 8th. Thanks for watching School News.
Here in Virginia, the one-time citadel of massive resistance, 21 Negro students have completed the first week of classes in previously all-white schools. Security precautions continue in effect here at Stratford Junior High School in Arlington, Virginia. The same watchfulness prevails in the 6 integrated schools in Norfolk. But at the end of this first week, it would appear that Virginia's conditional surrender on the integration front has been carried out with grace and dignity. After both state and federal courts struck down Virginia's massive resistance program, Virginia's Governor Lindsey Almond set the keynote when he appeared before the General Assembly and rejected extremist demands for obstruction at all costs. While the effect of integration might be softened by tuition grants, Almond said the federal law must be observed, and he said it should be observed in keeping with Virginia's tradition of peace and order. Such has been the case here at Arlington Stratford Junior High School, where 4 Negro students are now attending classes, where city and county authorities have shown every determination to keep peace and order, and where also the white students in this cosmopolitan suburb of Virginia have shown little rancor and have even begun taking the Negroes into their conversations.
Why is February 2nd important? On February 2nd, 1959, 4 African American students entered and enrolled at Stratford Junior High School. This marked the end of the Commonwealth of Virginia's practice of segregation in public schools. Who are these students? These 4 students were Gloria Thompson, Ronald Deskins, Lance Newman, and Michael Jones. The 4 students walked up to Stratford after the first bell at 8:45 a.m. Almost 100 police officers formed a cordon along the road. How did the Stratford desegregation happen? In 1956, Virginia was not even close to desegregating public schools. The NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, put forward lawsuits to try and make the Commonwealth of Virginia comply with the Brown v. Board of Education ruling. After the organization exhausted all legal options, Arlington Public Schools had no choice but to admit the 4 black students into the previously all-white Stratford Junior High School. What happened afterwards? The desegregation of Stratford arrived without incident. Despite police and reporters, it was essentially a normal day at school. Arlington schools ran the headline, "The day nothing happened." Why is our school called Dorothy Ham? Who is she? Dorothy M. Ham was a civil rights activist who was a leader in the federal desegregation suit that led in 1959 to the peaceful integration of public schools in Arlington. For more than 50 years, she advocated for equal rights for people of color in Virginia. A month after the Supreme Court declared that segregated schools were unequal and therefore illegal, an integrated group of Arlington residents began working to break down Virginia's policy of massive resistance to school desegregation. In an article posted in 1996 by the Washington Post, Mrs. Ham said that the Brown decision alone did not motivate Arlington residents. Dorothy Ham's daughter had stated that the reason why her mother chose to fight so vigorously was that Edward Ham would pass by Stratford and say how he wanted to go to the school. 7 months after the first black students were admitted to Stratford, Edward Ham was enrolled as well. Why is it important to learn about this? Being the first public school system to desegregate in Virginia is a point of pride for Arlingtonians, but we also need to remember that it took almost 18 years of activism from many people and organizations to get to that point. It took almost 5 years for Arlington to desegregate their first school after Brown v. Board of Education. The story of our school's desegregation is complex, but is a story of progress. A form of progress that was hard-won after years of pressure, political maneuvering, and lawsuits. It's important for us as a community to continue to learn more about this story and to remember what all of these activists have done to further improve our community. It's important to know that every person makes a difference. If you would like to learn more about this story, you can find more information on the DHMS website, the Arlington Public Library website, the Arlington, Virginia website, and on the Washington Post.
To commemorate the importance of what happened on February 2nd, 1959, I'm going to share the story of one person who was there that day as a teacher in the school. Her name was Martha Ann Miller, a math teacher at Stratford Junior High. Miss Miller taught 2 of the students who integrated the building on February 2nd, 1959. While other teachers refused to teach them, she felt honored and offered to include them in her 7th grade math class. When the principal asked the teachers if we would be willing to teach black students, some teachers refused. I personally felt it was an insult to be asked this kind of question, and I, of course, volunteered, considering it would be an honor to have these students in my classroom, she writes in her book. In 2016, Miss Miller spoke on a panel and recalled the events of the day as uneventful. Miss Miller remembers it this way. It was just another school day, she says. Images of hate from other places in the U.S. did not represent her experience. Here's an image of Miss Miller speaking about her experience on a panel. Miss Miller earned her formal education because of a baking competition. Miss Miller grew up in Indiana and earned a 4-year scholarship at Purdue University after winning a baking competition at the Indiana State Fair. If Miss Miller didn't earn a scholarship at Purdue University, it was unlikely that she would ever go to college. She was the youngest child in her family, with 3 older brothers, and she graduated from high school during the Great Depression. She moved to Arlington after getting her degree and taught at Stratford for 21 years. Miss Miller died a few days after her 106th birthday. Till today, we celebrate her as a local heroine who helped make the first day of school for these students just a little bit easier. She also set an example, and she demonstrated that this was the right and just thing to do. Small and local acts like these helped forward the moves of integration and equality in this time. And we thank Miss Miller for all the great and just things that she has done for our school.
Did you know that DHMS has a group of parents, teachers, and students that work together on the issue of diversity and inclusion? The goal of this group is to make sure all students can succeed, make all students feel safe at school, and give every student the opportunity to feel like they belong to the DHMS family. Our family includes so many different kinds of people. Our school represents many nationalities, languages, genders, races, sexualities, religions, talents, interests, and abilities. All families are invited to join us to make DHMS a better place. The Equity Team meets virtually on the first Monday of each month at 6:30 p.m. You can also join them this week in person. On Thursday, February 2nd, we will commemorate and honor the 4 students who integrated Stratford Junior High, our school building. Come by school between 5 and 6 p.m. with your family and explore this history, walk the walk, and meet one of the 4 students, Michael Jones. Please meet at door 1 anytime between 5 and 6 p.m. to start the walk. Students who attend with their family will be entered in a drawing for a special prize. Cookies and a warm drink will be on sale at the end of the walk. We hope to see you there.
February is Black History Month in the United States. Black History Month started in 1915 when historian and author Dr. Carter G. Woodson founded what is now called the Association for Study of African American Life and History. Dr. Woodson chose the week in February that included the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, 2 important figures in the history of Black Americans. The week-long event officially became Black History Month in 1976 when President Gerald Ford extended the recognition to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. Ever since then, Black History Month has been celebrated in the United States every February. Black History Month was created to focus attention on the significant contributions of African Americans to the United States. Other countries have now joined the United States in celebrating Black people and their contributions, including United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, and the Netherlands. This month, we encourage you to explore and learn about contributions of Black Americans in our community and throughout the country. A great place to start is by reading a book. Scan this QR code to see books in our library about Black history.